Let's continue with crop production and management. Now let us take up irrigation. What is irrigation? Supplying water to the plants in the field. Supplying water as per the necessity from time to your field is called as irrigation. Remember, it is supply of water to the green plants. Supply of water to plants at regular intervals from time to time. Sources. Which are the sources that get us water? Wells, tube wells, ponds, lakes, rivers, dams, canals. Huge dams we have, we store water from there. In the canals we take water to the fields for being used. Now, a few points to be remembered here. Water requirement differs from crop to crop, soil to soil, and season to season. We have to be very scientific in irrigating. You should neither water more than the requirement nor less than the requirement of the plant. Next, pumps run by diesel, biogas, electricity or solar energy. So to water the plants, when rains fail or when there is a requirement for water, what energy do we use? Pumps we use. Water has to be lifted sometimes. To lift water to your field from a well, what all energy sources can we have? One is diesel. The other is biogas. You can run the pump with the help of biogas. Electricity or even solar energy. Then manual lifting is also there. Sometimes with wind energy too we lift water. These are the main modern fuels that we use to run the machine. Here you have a big field where you have sprinklers. Can you see? Sprinklers. They are rotating nozzles. In gardens you see nowadays in some of the farms too they use rotating nozzle. It will have two exits and it keeps rotating and water gets spread out everywhere very well. Here and there some 10, 15 or 100 such nozzles you will have. The moment you switch on, the water starts rushing out of these nozzles and plants get an artificial rain. Artificial rain. Modern methods of lifting of water. Sprinkler system, X. I explained just now, rotating nozzles. A thin tip you call pipe with a small tip, hole. You call it as nozzle. Drip system. You will have pipes. The pipes will be under the soil and where the plants are, you have a small outlet. Drop by drop, water comes out. Drop by drop. Where you have deserts, where you have very little rain, there you can have drip system because water sources too dry up soon. You can't water as in a place where monsoon rains are very heavy. See Rajasthan desert, or certain parts of Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Punjab and all that border areas of Thar desert. In all those places you better go for drip system. Even in places where rains are plenty, in the summer season you may have to water the plants. Drip system enables you to minimize the amount of water that's used. Protection from weeds, another important aspect. Here you see a weed. It is Parthenium grass. Parthenium grass. It grows in plenty in Karnataka. In the fields in Karnataka, wherever you go, on the roadside, there, here, it grows very well. It will have white flowers, small flowers. It, without any help from anyone, it grows on its own. And it's a weed. It won't allow your farm crops to grow. So periodically you have to keep on removing. When should you remove? The moment you see these plants flowering, you have to get them removed. If you can get them removed earlier, much better. But once they bloom and seeds get formed, it's highly dangerous. They get spread everywhere and you won't see your own crop plants. You will see only Parthenian grass there. This is one example. There are many weeds, many such weeds. The farmer should be able to identify them and get them removed to enable his crop plants to grow well. Undesirable. So what are weeds? In case you are, what are weeds? Give a definition. Undesirable plants. Plants that we don't need are called weeds. Undesirable. We don't desire to grow them. We don't want them. They are harmful. So they are weeds. Weeding. What's weeding? Removing weeds. The exercise of removing weeds is called as weeding. Weed out. Even an unnecessary person being sent out, it's weeding. You send him out. We don't require him here. You spoil the entire atmosphere. Go. You weed him out. He is sent out. So it's a phrase in English. So weeding, removal of unwanted plants, removal of weeds. Manually you can do. For everything, you have the manual exercise. If it's a large plantation area, you may have to go for machines. What do we use? We use kurpi. Kurpi. People, laborers use them. It has some 2 or 3 small pointed structures. With that, you can loosen the soil and remove the weed easily. Kurpi. Weeds compete with crops. Why do you want to weed out? Remove the weeds. Weeding. Why is it required? Because they compete with our crops. Even if you put all out effort, the crops won't grow properly because weeds compete with them. Weeds can survive even without water sometimes. Our crops will dry out. Till the field. What is tilling? It's not T-I-L-L, till, which you use as preposition or conjunction. Here till means ploughing the field. Till the field. Plough the field. Before sowing, before you sow your seeds, you have to till the field to remove all the weeds. Then remove weeds before they produce flowers. I told you, before they produce flowers, take care to remove all the weeds. Otherwise they will be highly dangerous to your farm plants. Next, manual removal. If you have time, if you have the labor, you can even remove the weeds manually. As the plants keep on growing, laborers will be free. If you want to give them work manually too, you can get them removed and you can make manure out of that. You can make manure. Use weedicides. Now chemicals. Chemicals are there, weedicides, called as weedicides. What do? You spray them mix with water and spray them. The weeds will die. Specifically, they kill the weeds, not the grown plants. So weedicides, mix with water and spray in the fields. You spray them. To some extent they are harmful too. It has to be kept in mind. Very judiciously, you should use the weedicides. Cover your nose and mouth with a piece of cloth. You have to be careful. Tie a piece of cloth over your nose and mouth to see that you don't inhale. Because these weedicides are dangerous to our body too. So you have to tie a cotton cloth around your nose and mouth. You should, oh, I am healthy, why do I need? No, I don't need at all. Definitely you fall ill because they are poisons. Those poisons should not enter your bloodstream. Harvesting. Now we come to harvesting. Plants have grown up. We harvest. What are the aspects here? Crops are cut. You cut the crops. Again you can do it with sickle. See, here this woman is doing it with a sickle. This is called a sickle. This curved part, inner part of the curved surface, that is very sharp. You cut the plants. In India we see manually harvesting being done. It's a huge plantation. Go for your cultivator. With the help of the cultivator you can do. 3-4 months required for a crop to mature, roughly. Some crop may mature even in 2 months. That's different. Normally, 3 to 4 months are required for any crop to mature. Required for a crop to mature. What's mature? The seeds are ready to be plucked. How do you pluck? You have to cut the plant first. Then the seeds are, you thresh them. Threshing is done. They are separated. Done with sickle or machine. Machine, it's the, we say, combiner. Separation of grains from the chaff is threshing. Chaff. Unnecessary parts are there. From that unnecessary inflorescence part, you have to separate the seeds. Now what remains there is the chaff. Seeds are separated. You require the seeds because further processing is there. If it's paddy, you have to get rice from paddy. That's the next process. Okay. Chaff, you see the spelling C-H-A-F-F. You read it as chaff, not chaff. Chaff. Next. After harvesting, stubs are burned. You cut the plants and remove. Stubs will remain there. You understand? A part of the stem, lower stem with the roots, they remain there in the field. Only the plant is cut. But they are burnt. Mostly in villages, farmers who do not have proper education or farmers who do not want to follow the methodology properly, they burn it. They put fire to the entire farm, especially sugarcane stubs. They put fire and burn them. But this is most improper. Why? You know it well. Stub burning, when it's done on a large scale, it amounts to pollution. In Punjab, Haryana, you read in papers when they cut wheat, harvest wheat, and they start burning the field. At that time, the air surrounding that area that gets polluted. That will start blowing towards Delhi. Delhi is already a polluted city. Even this polluted air too gets mixed. People of Delhi fall ill. Vehicles come to a standstill. Last year even the airport came to a halt because of the polluted air. So we should not burn stubs. We have to plow the field, remove the stubs in case necessary, and get them converted into manure. There are different procedures. Harvest, festivals. See, in India, almost all these happy endings will conclude with the festival. When you have harvest, the farmers are very happy. It's Lakshmi who comes in, so they celebrate it. When Sri Lakshmi comes in, they have finished one crop. They want to recreate themselves. So how do they recreate? Pongal in South India, Baisakhi in the north, Holi, Diwali, Bihu, all these are entangled with harvest season. It's very interesting. People enjoy in their own way by celebrating these festivals, and they remain thankful to the Almighty for having eased the very function of raising a crop. Next, storing. Now grains are there, we have to store. If we don't store, what happens? Pests eat them away, or they may get subjected to infection by microbes. Moisture may spoil them all. See here, storing. Harvested grains need to be stored. You have to store them properly. Very important. Moisture, insects, microbes, what you cannot see by naked eye, microbes, rats or other pests. they may spoil them. Drying the grains. So, our one usual way is to put the grains in the open sun and get them dried, well dried. By drying the crop, drying the grains in the sun, you will be able to keep away these microbes or even the moisture, the insects. You will be able to protect the seeds. Next, drying in sunlight, storage in jute bags. From jute fibers we make the bag, you call it jute bag. Metallic bins, you put them in metallic bins and properly close and keep, another way of preserving them. Using neem leaves, in villages people do. When you put them in a metallic bin and keep rice closed, they don't just keep it like that. They get some neem leaves. Put neem leaves inside. Put a few neem leaves. What happens? The microbes will not be able to infect the grains, because neem keeps them away. These are basic ways and methods what our farmers were following. The factories, they don't explain all these. They say, no, you use our chemical. They say, you have answers in your own local technology. Villages have the answer. So properly you have to get the farmers educated. You can save a lot of money by using the local know-how, local technology. Next, specific chemical treatments. Besides, there are a lot of chemical treatments too. How you have to treat, how much of medicine or that chemical will have to be added. Everything has to be very methodic. Large scale storage in silos and granaries. Silos, huge metallic bins are built which run to a height of 30 feet, 40 feet, 50 feet. And in those silos you store. Removing the grain is easy. You just open at the bottom the exit pipe, it starts pouring down. You can get them filled into trucks or bins or bags and seal them. You see here, combine harvester. Under harvesting you can just see, you have a special tool added here. It does the work of the harvester. See how neatly it has harvested. Now this part would be harvested as it moves on, and it gets filled into the bin inside. Here, large scale fishing, we will come to that later. Large scale storage in silos and granaries. Now comes food from animals. This is from plants what we discussed. Now food from animals. Here, large scale fishing. In olden days they used to do fishing on a very small scale. Take a boat, just go around and get what you require. Today, fishing is done on large scale. Large scale. Large scale fishing is a big science in itself. You have to learn a lot, because once you catch fish, they have to be brought to the shore. Within specified time, if you don't bring, the fish will start undergoing decay. You should be able to make them reach the right places. Then if you want to preserve, you have to properly get them canned. How to preserve, how to send them import, export, all these are a big science today, very big science. You have 3-year, 4-year courses only on marine biology. Marine biology. Large scale fishing. Tons and tons of fish you get with every fishing expedition. Animals reared at home or in farms have to be provided with proper food. See, if you want to rear animals, you can. It's a very good occupation, but you have to get the science of it. You should know the science of it. You can't just feed as you like. You can't take it for granted you know everything. You have again 2-year, 3-year courses. You have to learn the science of it. With that, the yield will be more, your profit will be more, and you become a professional in that field. A professional. See, what diseases do they get? Should they be injected? How should they be taken care of? How can you keep them? You should be kind to them too. You can't be unkind. You have to be kind to animals. Maybe they are for your meat, but even then, as they live, as they are taken care of, you have to be kind to them. You should see that they are happy. They are happy in the place where you rear them. Provided with proper food. You have to give them proper food, good food. Shelter, proper shelter. Then care. You have to take care. You can't leave pigs to go around the entire town, make the town filthy. That is not the way to rear pigs at all. Pigs have to be reared in special areas which are properly fenced and protected. There is a system. They too have proper food. That food has to be served to them, taken care. So everything has to go in a methodical way, systematic way, disciplined way. Then we call it as animal husbandry. Here it is, see, animal husbandry. There is a field which has lot of scientific implications, nutritional implications. Because even the meat you provide the market will have to be very healthy. Provided with proper food, shelter and care. This is called animal husbandry. Thank you.